ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चैतन्यं सर्वगं सर्वं सर्वभूतगुहाशयम् यत्सर्वविषयातीतं तस्मै सर्वविदे नमः। In the 15th verse, let us read the verse. Aluptatvatmano drushtihi notpadya karakairyataha drishyaya chanyaya drishtya janyat जन्यतास्याः प्रकल्पिता। आत्मनो दृष्टि अलुप्ता। दृष्टि, the seeing, the consciousness in fact here, which is the nature of Atma, alupta. There is never a lope or cessation, it always is. May not be evident, but always is. What's the yataha? What's the reason? Karakaihi na utpadya. That drishti, the swarupa of the Atma, which is consciousness, is svabhavikam na utpadyam. It is not created by karaka, means various accessories. Then what is the reason why this question arises? Drishya cha anyaya drishtya janyata asyaha prakalpita. Even Atma Drishti also is thought to be janya. Drishti, or the consciousness that Atma is also, is thought to be janya or created. Why is it so? Because it is not evident, it is avyakta, and therefore is thought to be not there. Just as the anyaya drishtya, this anya drishti, that is drishti of the antahkaranam, called antahkarana vritti or jnana vritti. That jnana, so when the jnanam takes place, then the consciousness that I am Brahman also seems to take place. And so we think that that consciousness that I am Brahman also is created, whereas I am Brahman is an existing fact but becomes evident when that Jnana Vritti takes place. Jnana Vritti, by removing the veil of ignorance, brings to manifestation the Atma Drishti which is always there. And so you may think that that drishti also is created, but then what is created is that jnana vritti, because it is utpadya. It is something that is created by the effort of antahakana shuddhi, shravanam, mannam, nididhyasanam. It is not a natural state of the mind, understand? What is natural is not created. And this jnana vritti is a state of mind. It is not the nature, therefore it comes and goes. Or it is not there at this time and then it may come into being. Because of the effort that is made by the karta. So that drishti is utpadya. And that brings to manifestation the atma drishti, which also is thought to be utpadya. And therefore atma drishti also atma chaitanya pratibhasopi nashavan. Even that the knowledge of the self or the drishti of the self also is nashavan. Atma prakashatvad, because it is of the nature of prakasha. Prakriti buddhi pratyaya, just as the prakasha of the jnana vritti is nashavan, similarly also the prakasha of the atma also is nashavan, because we felt it was not there, but it was always there and unmanifest, and this vritti brings to manifestation. So janyatvam vritti has this special condition, upadhi janyatvam, which janyatvam is not there in atma prakasha, and therefore it is na nashavan. The standard example of upadhi, the yatra yatra dhumah tatra tatra vannihi, this is a standard thing, wherever the smoke is there the fire must be. Suppose yatra yatra vannihi tatra tatra dhumah, wherever fire is there the smoke is. No, this is a conditional statement. Wherever the smoke is there the fire is unconditional statement. But where fire is there the smoke is a conditional statement. Because there can be a red hot iron ball, let's say, where the fire is and smoke is not. So ardandhana sanyoga. Where there is sanyoga or association with ada indhana, where the fuel is wet, then the smoke is there. So fire is there and the smoke is there, we find them together, but there is a condition as to why that smoke is there, because of the wet fuel. So wet fuel is called upadhi, special condition on account of which this happens, but if that special condition did not apply, then this rule will not apply. If the special condition is there, the vritti is there. But the thing is that vritti has a special condition called janyatvam, which is not there in atma prakasha. Next verse says, dehatmudyapekshvatvat atmanah kartratam mrisha naiva kinchit karomi te satya buddhi pramanaja. Atmana kartruta. Similarly, karta atma is thought to be karta. I find myself a karta, doer, bhokta, an experiencer. So is that the nature of atma or is it conditional thing? We find atma with karta, bhokta. Is it by nature? No. Dehata buddhi apek, there is a condition there, the special condition, dehata buddhi. That kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam is the result of the dehata buddhi, the identification of deha, that is upadhi. Therefore, kartruta is not the nature of atma. Kartruta is an artificial situation created on account of the dehata buddhi, the identification of deha or upadhi. Therefore, it is mrisha, it is not eternal, it is not non-negatable. Because when the dehatavadi goes away, kartruta goes away. Then what is the truth of the Atma? If Atma is not karta, what is the truth of Atma? neva kinchit karometi iti satya buddhi pramanaja. So what is the, my knowledge about myself, I am karta bhokta, is not the reality about myself, it is mrisha because it is negatable. Then what is the nature of myself? Neva kinchit karometi akartruta. Akarta aham karmani akarmayah pashed. So nishkaram, nishkriyam, shantam, that is what the Upanishad says. So knowing the self is nishkalam, partless, nishkriyam, actionless, shantam, ever tranquil, nirvikara. Knowing the self that way then creates this knowledge in me that neva kinchit karometi. This is what the wise person says. Knowing the self to be nishkalam, nishkriyam, shantam, when I see myself, which is a reality, then I realize that I am not a karta, therefore I never do anything. So this knowledge about the self that I never do, which is saying that I am a karta, is satya buddhi. That buddhi, that perception about myself is satya, is non-negatable, is independently there, without any reason. Satyam is there, which is there without any reason. Kartrutva is there, is conditional. Conditional with reference to dehata buddhi. Akartrutvam is without any reason. Pramanaja, so Upanishad says, and that is my experience. Therefore, that buddhi, that knowledge is satyam. What should we depend upon? So don't depend upon your perception of yourself as your karta bhokta. Akartrutvam is the true perception because it is satyam bhavana pramanam and it is there forever once it is recognized. Not once it is born, once it is recognized. So akartruta is not born. Although right now kartruta seems to be my nature and akartruta seems to be born. So somebody would think that it is utpadya and nashavan because it is born. The akartruta was not there, now it is there, so it is nashavan. Says no, this was there was upadhi there. What is upadhi? Dehata buddhi is upadhi for kartrutvam and therefore it is nashavan. And this is the nashavan. Then continuing now with on the page, the 17th verse. Itopi kartrutvam atma na paramarthamityaha. Itopi, for this further reason also, kartrutvam, the doership of the atma, is na paramartham, is not real, not absolute, not unconditional. For this reason also, the kartrutvam, the doership of the atma is not conditional, not unconditional. It is conditional. Condition is called upadhi. Some special reason why something is there. So the 17th verse says, Kartrutvam karakapeksham akartrutvam svabhavatah karta bhokteti vijnanam mrishayveti sunischitam. Kartrutvam karaka apeksham. Kartrutvam, that I am a karta, that notion on my part, or that conclusion of about myself, or that perception of myself that I am karta. So kartrutvam karaka apeksham, it is something that is created. When certain conditions apply, then so it is born of the dehata buddhi. And deha is the karta, and therefore kartrutvam belongs to deha, because that is created by the body which has the parts. It is sakalam, it is sakriyam, it is vikari, and therefore that is because the body has this, that is the reason why the kartrutvam is created in the body because of this nature of the body. But that doesn't exist in Atma. And therefore, na svabhavatah. The kartrutvam is na svabhavatah. It's not the akartrutvam svabhavatah. Akartrutvam is the nature of the Atma, because kartrutvam is the result of the karaka, which karaka is not there in the Atma in sense of the vikriyatvam, sakriyatvam, etc. So says asange niravayave atmani karaka samsargasya paramat anupatte. Karaka is karta, karma, karanam. Asange same thing. Nishkalam, niskriyam, shantam. And so niravayave, nishkale niravayave atmani. Nishkriya atmani. Asangya atmani, in that Atma, the association with karaka, that is karta, karma, karanam, that is just not possible because it is asanga. And niravayava, which one savayava thing can have a sanyuga with another savayava thing, like a pot with a table. Or when that is sanga, when with subject to attachment, then also that, for example, fire also can be associated with the iron because both of them have parts, etc., and both of them have the possibility of attaching. Asangata is not there. But here the upadi cannot be connected to Atma. The fire can be connected to iron, and therefore the iron can have the heat, etc., which is unnatural to it. But kartrutvam, which in the upadi has no connection with Atma, therefore the kartrutva of the upadi cannot ever enter into the Atma. And so the Atma kartrutvam stand, why do you find it? The kartrutvam that belongs to upadi is superimposed upon Atma. Nashavatvam or kartrutvam upon the upadi. In that is the vritti, here it is upadi. When you find that, even though it doesn't make sense that kartrutva can be nature of Atma, we still find Atma as karta because the kartrutvam that belongs elsewhere, the upadi, is superimposed upon the Atma, and thus we entertain the notion that Atma aham karta. So svabhavatah akartrutvam. Karaka samsa parama anupatte. Paramasad anupatte. The sangha or the association of Atma and Anatma, this paramat in reality is not feasible, not tenable. Because Atma's nature being what it is, asanga, niravayava, nirvikara, therefore it cannot be, there cannot be sanyuga or connection with anything. There cannot be connection to upadi, therefore kartrutva, bhoktrutva cannot be in Atma. And still we find kartrutva, bhoktrutva in Atma. There is as though connection. What is the connection? Adhyasika sambandha. That real sambandha, paramadika sambandha of Atma and Atma cannot be there. Vedanta says adhyasika sambandha. Sambandha, the result of adhyasa. Just as between the flower and crystal, there is no sambandha at all. And still we find that the orangeness of the flower appears in crystal. Now, that is called adhyasika sambandha. The color as though superimposes itself and influences the crystal and makes the crystal appear as orange. So the upadi makes the Atma appear as colored by the attributes of upadi. This is called, there is no sambandha or sanyuga of the flower and the crystal, and still the flower is able to influence the crystal. So we have to say that this is Adhyastika Sambandha, that the attributes of the flower are superimposed upon crystal. Similarly also, between Atma and Anatma, there is no Sambandha at all, because just as crystal does not lend itself to be associated with anything, it is pure, transparent. It cannot be associated with color. So Atma is pure, transparent, nirvikara, etc. Therefore, cannot be associated with upadhi or kartrutva, bhoktrutva. Still appears karta, that's why all the questions are there. There are those who take the kartrutva, bhoktrutva, Atma as real, like the Mimamsakas, Vaisheshikas, etc. And then they show what to do, because you are a karta, those will become bhokta. So what you should do so you become a happy bhokta. Vedanta, even a happy bhokta, you will become karta again. Because the samskara of happiness remains in you coming from elsewhere, so you will want more of that. Recognize that you are free even now. So that is the whole thing here. So there are people who think that Atma is karta bhokta. There are people who think that the consciousness of Atma is Nashvan. There are those, the Bhatta Mimamsakas, who they say that Atma is conscious and unconscious both. In the deep sleep, Atma is unconscious, and waking and dream, Atma is conscious. What's the reason? Because when the Atma comes in contact with the mind, then the consciousness manifests in the Atma. The association makes Atma conscious. When there is no association in mind, then Atma is not conscious. So conscious of Atma is Nashavan. We say, no, it is not Nashavan, it just becomes unmanifest. That in deep sleep state, the consciousness is not ceased to be there. There is no lopa. It is just unmanifest. And when you wake up, that consciousness becomes manifest. It is not created. And for manifestation, you require some reason, and that is a vritti. That is the mind becomes the reason for the manifestation of consciousness and not creating consciousness. So they say that the consciousness also is Nashvan. Because of being Atma, Prakash. Prakash is not nature of Atma. Because it becomes evident when you wake up only. It's not there in deep sleep state. So Vedanta says in deep sleep state, it is unmanifest, not non-existent. Waking becomes manifest, does not come into being. If you get away from all the technicality, but this is what the argument is. There are people who believe that the consciousness is Nashavan. It's not always there in Atma. We say it's always there in Atma, because that's the nature of Atma. Something is Nashvan, all right. The mind is Nashvan. And that is not there in deep sleep state. Therefore consciousness is not manifest. Mind is the medium through which that consciousness becomes manifest. So manifestation is not there, doesn't mean the Swarupa is not there. Similarly, there cannot be a true association of Atma and Anatma. Anatma Rupadi is where Karakas are there, where Kartrutva is there. There cannot be Kartrutva in Atma because there cannot be a true Sambandha or association of the Atma and Anatma. Just as between crystal and flower there cannot be Sambandha. But Kartrutva appears in Atma anyway. Just as orangeness appears in crystal. So you have to explain now what's the reason. That looks like a Sambandha. Looks like, because we find that, or it appears to us that the crystal and color are in the same location. So it looks like to us. When you see the crystal, then it looks like the orangeness and crystal are in one location. Samadhikaranyam is there, one adhikaranam is there. Then we show that even though they appear to be in one location, they are in different locations. युष्म तस्मत् प्रत्यय गोचरयो. Atma and Atma not in the same location. Atma is in different location. Crystal and color do not have the same location. They appear to be located in one place. What makes it so? It is called superimposition, adhyasa. So that's why the whole thing you have to explain. And that's how don't accept the kartrutva of the Atma. Accepting Atma as Karta, then making effort to erase that Kartrutvam is a futile effort. Try to do something which is not doable. Don't accept Kartrutva of the Atma. Begin from there. But I find myself Karta, recognize, I understand and see, investigate how Kartrutvam is only temporary. Conditional, I should say. It is not unconditional Kartrutva. So begin, that is what begin from there. Don't accept Atma as Karta and then try to do something so Kartrutva goes away from Atma. Look upon Kartrutva as an incidental thing, as a conditional thing, and remove that condition, then Kartrutva will go. What is condition? Identification with Buddhi or with the Upadi. So this is how Vedanta wants us to do the sadhana. Sadhana does not begin by taking Atma to be Karta and then trying to somehow get rid of that Kartatva. Sadhana begins by accepting the Shruti which says Atma is a Karta. That's why Shraddha is required. It makes sense also. Reason also is given. That's why Adhyasa is the reason given. In order to establish Pramanya of the Shruti, because our experience seems to go against what the Shruti says. That I am a Karta Bhokta seems to contradict what the Shruti says, that you are a Karta Bhokta or you are Nishkalam, Nishkriyam, Shantam seems to contradict. So should I then trust my perception or conclusion about myself, or should I trust Shruti? Trust Shruti. You will recognize that this perception of yourself about you has some problem there, has a condition. As an upadi, it is that sambandha is not the real sambandha, adhyasika sambandha, not a sanyoga or samavaya, etc. Then you need to remove adhyasa, not kartrutva. Otherwise you want to remove karaka, etc. No, kartrutva is not to remove, adhyasa is to be removed. Identification is removed. So this is the diagnosis of our samsara. Kartrutva, bhoktritva, lakshana samsara. Samsara is characterized by kartrutva, bhoktritva. And when we understand the reason that nidana must be there, diagnosis must be there, then a proper chikitsa can be there. Akartrutvam svabhatah. Upanishad says nishkalam, nishkriyam, shantam, nishkriyam. So, kriyavatvam is not the nature of Atma. Tranquility, nirvikaratvam is the nature of Atma. Because Atma, partlessness is the nature of Atma. Akartrutvasya svabhavikatvat. Since akartrutvam is svabhavikam, since the nature of Atma is akartrutva, therefore kartrutvam cannot be paramarthika. So, what's the reason? Asangatve, asange, niravave, Atmani is the reason. For kartrutva, you require sanga, savayatvam, vikaritvam, that's what is required. That's not there in Atma. So, karaka apeksham, or in fact, kartrutvam is the sanga apeksham, savayavatva apeksham, vikaritva apeksham. Karaka apeksham, but kartrutva requires vikara in the locus of kartrutva. requires savayatva and locus of kartritva. A karta is always savayava, vikari, sangi, and that is not in an atma. Therefore, atma cannot be karta, kartrutvam cannot be atma. That's what asange niravaya, that's what it says. Asange niravaya atmani. Atma asanga because you require sangatvam, saktatvam, savayavatvam, vikaritvam for kartrutvam. So therefore the conditions that are required for kartrutva to be there are not there in atma. Therefore atma cannot be karta. So therefore paramat anupatte. Anupatti means it's not tenable, not logical, not reasonable that Atma can be karta. Looking at the nature of Atma. Brahman cannot be karta, there cannot be creation when Brahman is, because Brahman doesn't have what it takes to be a creator. So Atma cannot be karta because Atma does not have what it takes to be a karta. And still we find kartrutva. Then is it the nature of Atma or is the appearance of kartrutva? The orange color that you find in crystal is the nature of crystal or the appearance in crystal. Both may appear, both may create the same conclusion. If appearance is not recognized appearance, then we may think that that's the nature. Because he is so effectively acting as a beggar, then we think that there's a real beggar there. Because so effectively acting, then we have to investigate, can beggarliness in these fellows be real? He is a billionaire, multi-billionaire. Then how, therefore beggarliness is an appearance because these things cannot coexist. Being a wealthy person and being a beggar cannot coexist in the same location at the same time. The one of them has to be wrong, therefore beggarliness cannot be swabhava. Then what is it? It is the Vedanta says adhyastika, superimposed. Therefore asange niravayave atmani karaka samsargasya upadhi samsargasya parama anupatte. There cannot be real samsarga between crystal and flower. So there cannot be real samsarga between the body or upadhi and the atma. All karakas are there in the upadhi. And atma will become also possessed of those karakas if it can be connected to the upadhi. But that connection cannot be. And so only way the connection is an appearance and not a reality. अकर्तृत्वस्य स्वाभाविकत्वात् स्वकर्तृत्वं स्वभावतः. So swabhava means because of swabhava. The hetu is given. So because of swabhava, swabhavikatvat, swakartrutva, akartrutvam, swabhavi, because that's the nature of Atma. Then karta bhokta vijnanam mrusheveti sunischitam. Then what about my perception of myself as a karta and bhokta? I have one perception of myself that I am karta bhokta. Upanishad has a different perception. Nishkalam, nishkriyam, shantam. So therefore, when Atma is nishkala, nishkriya, shanta by swabhava, kartrutva cannot be swabhavikam, has to be mrusha, and therefore, that my perception of myself, I am karta bhokta, is a false perception of myself. Like the perception that this crystal is orange is a false perception because they appear to be in one location when they are not in one location. Orangeness and crystal are in different locations, they appear to be in one location. So kartrutva is there someplace, not that orangeness is not there at all. It is not where you think it is. Not that kartrutva is not there, but not where you think it is. Like in the flower orange, so also upadhi kartrutva is there. But then there is a pratibha, appearance of kartritva in Atma. Therefore, the perception or conclusion, karta bhokta atmedi vijnanam mrisha eva, Atma is karta bhokta, that vijnanam, that perception, that conclusion is mrisha, is false, cannot be real. Because doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Looking at Svabhav of the Atma, Kartrutva doesn't make sense. So you begin from here. Not that you work out and try to become a karta. So I am doing work with a karta. You can't become a karta. So a kartru is to recognize not that you perform karma and I am a karta, doing karma. People try that. That's not necessary. While doing karma, then you do as though you are an akarta, meaning that follow the value of nisvartata, etc. But because you are doing karma, so kartrutva is there anyway. So make that kartrutva sattvic by the attitude of nishkamata. But akartrutva is to be seen, is not to be done or is a result of an action or during action. Yes, when you establish that innate knowledge, then action also will not distract you from the knowledge of akartrutvam when you have the jnana nishtha. Karta bhokta atma yadi vijnanam mrishaya vada vijnanam, the knowledge, perception, conclusion, notion that atma raham karta bhokta is mrishaya vada paramartha iti. It is conditional. Mrisha means mithya means conditional and not absolute nature. He is there because of some reason. When that reason goes away, kartrutva will go away. Paramartha is something that is non-negatable. It is sunishchitam. Nitya nirmala eva atma ityartha. Atma the self is nitya nirmala. Eva, when you say nitya means nirmalatvam is the swabhava. I'm ever pure. Kartrutva is impurity because it requires vikara. Only when vikara or modifications are there, change them, only kartrutva can be there. So, nitya nirmala evaham. So, this is how one should meditate upon oneself. Nitya nirmaloham, shivoham, etc. Tadevam, next verse, parishodhita padartha tattvasya vakyadeva aham brahmasmiti. So, evam parishodhita padartha tattvasya. So, this way padartha tattvam parishodhitam tvam pada. What's the nature of Atma is parishodhitam. That Atma is thought to be karta bhokta. And it's shown here that kartrutva, bhoktritva cannot be logically there in Atma. That it is an appearance in Atma like the orange in the crystal. Atma is akarta, abhokta, nitya nirmala. So this is the shodhanam. That you remove the false element from the conclusion about the Atma. That I am Ahamasmi, sadabhami, kadachinnaham apriya. That's the nature of Atma, all right, that you know. You also take as the karta bhokta. So that is the superimposition upon Atma, that is the mrisha or the false. And therefore, when we deliberate upon the nature of Atma in this manner, parishodhita padartha tattvasya. Padartha, tattvamasi, these three padarthas are there. And padartha, the true meaning of the words tattvam and asi. So tattvam, vakyadeva aham brahmasmi, then the meaning of asi becomes clear. When tat is rightly understood, when tvam is rightly understood, then asi will be understood. You say tat, oh consciousness, tvam, consciousness, tat, consciousness, same consciousness. What I think is to be Tat is different from me. In fact, I am. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham is the Tvam Pada. Brahma is the Tat Pada. So there Parishodhita Padartha Tattvasya. Pada and Padartha, Aham Pada and Aham Padartha, Brahma Padam and Brahma Padartha. And so therefore I have some notions about Aham, therefore the Shodhanam is required. Therefore the removal of the Mithya is required. I also have notions about Brahma, therefore Shodhanam, removal of Mithya is required in my understanding of Brahman, not in Brahman. In my understanding of Atma, the Mithya is to be removed. In my understanding of Brahma, the Mithya is removed by recognizing as Mithya. As far as Aham is concerned, Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva are Mithya. Therefore I can let it go. In Brahma also, Sarvajñatvam, Sarvashaktitvam, etc. are Mithya, incidental. So you let them go. And then you recognize the consciousness as the true nature of both, Tat and Tvam, and thus recognize identity. Iti nirapavade vijnane jate sadi. Really nirapavadam, abadhitam, apavada cannot be done. So badha cannot be done. Nirapavadam or abadhitam, that knowledge which cannot now be assailed by anything. No experience, no situation assail that knowledge that I am Brahman. Because I am Brahman is unconditional, therefore any time, any place, any condition will not be able to erase or displace this knowledge. Aham karta, aham bhokta can be displaced because there is the conditional knowledge. Another condition arises, that will go away, sukhi, dukhi, everything. That Aham Brahma is not a conditional knowledge, not dependent upon a factor, a time, place, condition, etc. Therefore, it can never be assailed, it can never be negated. So that happens when I realize that all these conditions, time, place, etc. do not belong to me, they belong to Upadhi. So whatever false aspect was there because of taking Upadhi to be Atma, when it is recognized as not Atma, Aham Brahma nirapavade vijnane jate sati. When that nirapavadam vijnanam or abhadhitam vijnanam, that vijnanam, the true knowledge, which is unassailed, which is non-negatable, jate sati, when that is born, then. So let us read the verse 18. एवं शास्त्रानुमानाभ्याम् स्वरूपे वगते सति नियोज्योऽहमिति ह्येषा सत्या बुद्धिः कथं भवेत्. एवं शास्त्र अनुमानाभ्याम. So the Tika says Shastram. Already we had that verse here, the 19th verse. No, sorry. Six 19. No. 8th verse, sorry. 8th verse. Vijñate yastu vijñata sattvamiti uchyate yatah. So in the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, he said there is no tvam left. Your ahankara also is negated as an atma, then I find nothing is left. He says no. You are still retaining your status as vijñata. And then you want to see tvam. But vijñatehe yastu vijñata sattvamiti uchyate. It is the knower of the knower, because of whom that you are the knower, that is called, not vijñata is not called tvam. Because when though vijñati is not there, vijñata does not remain. So an ahankara, which is vijnata to be known, is not there, vijnata does not remain. But when vijnata does not remain, doesn't mean nothing remains. Vijnate, vijnata. So vijnati, the knower of the knowing, even when the knowing is not there, the knower ever remains, and that is what is meant by Tvam. So this is how Shastra, vijnate, yastu. This footnote calls it Svetasvara Upanishad, but it should be, in my book it is 12.8 and 12.10 anyway, yeah. So 12 chapter 8th verse, yeah. So that is how the Tvam-pada. And yastastapo ravedehi unam anumanam. So that is the 10th verse. This verse is called Shastram because nahi vijnato vijnatehi vipirlopa vidyate na vijnatehi vijnatara vijaniyaha. That is Shastram. So based on which this verse is based. And Anumanam. So Anumanam is told in the 10th verse. Yastastapo raverdehe drushehe savishayavatha satvastastadvadeveha drushehe savishayastatha. So ravehe tapo, the heat of the sun is in the body. Now that it was two ways explained there, that because of identification of the body and the tapa, then they are both taken to be one because of identification. Or even when tapa is one part of the body, the whole body is taken to be santaptam. Dushehe vishayatha, so that tapa becomes the vishaya of the drashta. Otherwise, tapa is not the vishaya. The heat of the sun is not seen. But heat of the sun becomes seen when it becomes associated with the body, and therefore you say, I am hot. So I say I am hot, and therefore that heat becomes the vishaya of the eye as located in eye. I say I am hot. In fact, when the body is hot, what does he say? I am hot. And therefore, dushe vishaya, it becomes that heat becomes the vishaya of the eye, but then that belongs to the deha. And identification deha creates this notion that I am hot. Sattvasthasya tadve dushe savishaya. Similarly also, sattvastha tadvadeva dushe savishaya. And similarly also, so antahkanastha tathaiva dushe sakshano. Similarly, sukha dukkhadi tapaha is an antahkaranam, and I say sukhi dukhi. So tapa that belongs in one place is thought to belong to I. So sukha dukkhadi tapa that belongs to antahkarana is thought to belong to I, and therefore this the anumana of reasoning is provided here from our experience. So shastram vijnate yastu vijnata sattva itya darshidam yatsasthapo raveti atra anumuktam anumanam tabhyam. So going to shloka evam shastra anumanabhyam swarupe avagate sari. By shastra anumanam and the swarupa of the atma is recognized, then I realize that akarta ahokta aham. The niyojyohamitesha buddhi katham bhavet. That I can be ordered, I can be commanded. Niyoga means command. Shastra commands. Brahmano yajeta, that a brahmana should do this, a brahmachari should do this, etc. So there is command, it's called vidhi. Vidhi means a command. And whoever is commanded is become commanded. So command can be all right. But command requires a commanded in order to be effective. And therefore, if you make a command which is not applicable, whoever is sitting in the air may please go and get this. Now, you make a command, There is no object or command at all. So Shastra says, Veda says, you do this. There is no you. Because who am I? I am not a person. I am not a Brahmana. Only one with identification, Brahmanam, Kshatriya, etc., can be commanded. And that happens when there is identification of the body. When there is not, there is no Brahmana to be commanded. So, therefore, Niyojyohamiti. So, even when the command is given, when I thought I was a Brahmana, I am commanded, I should do this. When that Brahmanatvam is not there, then even if a Brahmana should do that, I don't feel it is told me. I am not Niyojya, I am not commanded. Desha Satya Buddhi Katham Bhavet. So this is with reference to Prasankhyanam. That earlier argument was that when the Upanishad says Tattvamasi, you are Brahman, then it is asking you to repeat in your mind Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi for the knowledge to take place. This Shabda that you are a Brahman, that only creates Paroksha Jnanam. To make it Jnanam Aparoksham, you need to repeat Prasankhyanam Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. When can that happen? When I am Niyojya. When Upanishad says, hey, you repeat Aham Brahmasmi, there is somebody to repeat. Now that will happen if Mahavakya Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi has not created in me the knowledge of an unqualified self, Akarta, Bhokta self. Then if the idea of Kartritva, Bhokta remains, then yes, then I am subject to being commanded that you repeat this, then I will repeat. The repeater is there. But when the true nature, when the true meaning of Tattvamasi is known, Parishodhita Padartha Tattvasya, when the true nature of Tvam is recognized, then nothing remains, nobody remains here to obey that command. Therefore, Parisankhyanam cannot apply to the one who has gained the knowledge by the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. Meaning Tattvamasi, Mahavakya creates Aparoksha Jnanam, and therefore even that Niyojya, the Karta Bhokta, no more remains. So I thought I was Karta Bhokta. If that Kartrutva Bhokta remains in spite of the teaching of Tattvamasi, then Upanishad says, hey, you do this now, something to make it Aparoksha. But Shabda does not in this instance create Paroksha Jnanam. Where the Vastu is already Siddha, for Siddha Vastu, that I am already Brahman, it creates Aparoksha Jnanam. And therefore, Parishodhita Padartha Tattvasya. Thus, when the Padartha Tattvam, the true nature of Padartha, the Tvam is recognized, then the Karta Bhokta does not remain. So, Niyojya, Karta is Niyojya because he wants the Bhoktrutva, or he wants Bhoga. And therefore, Niyojyavidesha Satya Buddhi Katham Bhavet. If only I thought that Niyojyoham, that I was subject to being commanded, then I should follow the command. But now that notion that I am commandable doesn't remain, therefore I find that I am not subject to being commanded. So that Vakya is told somewhere, not to somebody else, not to me. Meaning that command of Parisankhya, this Tattvamasi Mahavakya is interpreted as the Vidhi Vakya, which commands you to repeat this Aham Brahmasmi. Says, no, when the knowledge of Tattvamasi takes place, the entity doesn't remain here to follow that command, therefore, Parisankyanam cannot be the meaning of this Vakya. Then the last one says, Brahmavidah Niyojyatvadi Buddhi Naiva Bhavati Yatra. Brahmavidah Niyojyatvadi Buddhi Naiva Bhavati. That a Brahmavid, knower of Brahman, never think that I am Niyojya. Because he doesn't have notion about himself. If a Brahmanaham, Kshatriyoham, Kartaham, Bhoktaham, etc., if that remains, no, then Niyojyatvam is there. All those notions are born of the Dehata Buddhi. When there is not there, then Brahmanatvam is not there in me. So Niyojyatvam is not there. Brahmavedaha Niyojyatvadi Buddhi Naiva Bhavati. Therefore, one who knows oneself as Brahman, that Niyojyaham, I am so and so, Buddhi doesn't remain. The so and so can be commanded. That I can be commanded is no more there. Ityatra, what's the reason why Atma cannot be commanded? It is true that when the true knowledge of the Tattvamasi Mahavakya takes place, I no more remain commandable. But what happens to me? How do I recognize myself? Nirvikarattvadikam hetum. I see myself nirvikara, etc. Therefore, Padan Prakaranatham Upasamharati. Therefore, that you discover yourself nirvikara, nishkriya, shantaha, and therefore kartrutva cannot be there, niyojyatva cannot be there. He said in the last verse, Yatha sarvantaram vyoma vyomnopyabhyantaro hyaham nirvikaro charashuddha ajaro muktas sadadvaya. Yatha sarvantaram vyoma. Just as vyoma, there is sarvantaram, is nirvikara. So vyoma is nirvikaram, achalam, shuddham. The example. The space is an excellent example which seems to exhibit, at least at the Vyavaharika level, many attributes or many lakshanas of Atma. The space is not Atma, but serves as an excellent example for contemplating upon the nature of Atma. Drishtanta is given for contemplation. So space is Drishtanta given for contemplating upon the nature of myself. So Nirvikaratvam, the space is a good example of Nirvikaram, doesn't undergo any vikara. Achalaha, space is motionless, nowhere to go. Shuddha is ever unpolluted. Space cannot be polluted by anything because it is alepaha. Therefore, it cannot be tainted, niranjanaha, ajaraha. There is no vikara, therefore there is no, modification, there is no old age, etc. No decrepitude in the space. Muktaha, ever free. Sada advayaha, it is non-dual, there is no other space. So, just as space is like that. Yatha sarvagatam vyoma. So just as vyoma or space which is sarvagata is also therefore it is nirvikara, achala, shuddha, jara, in a vyavaharika sense anyway. Not in paramatika sense, but a vyavaharika sense. So examples can only be vyavaharika. They cannot be paramatika example. So vyavaharika example is meant to help us recognize the nature of paramartha. Yatha sarvantaram vyoma. Then who am I? Vyomnopi abhyantaro hyaham. If vyoma is nirvikaram, achalam, suddham, ajaram, muktam, etc., then what talk of I who is in the self of the vyoma? I am inner, I am within the vyoma, meaning that I am the Atma of vyoma. I am the very essence of vyoma, content of vyoma, Atma of vyoma, within vyoma, adhisthana of vyoma, in Vedantic words. So if vyoma enjoys these attributes or lakshanas in a vyavaharika sense, I who am the very adhisthana of the vyoma, what talk of my being absolutely nirvikaraha, achalaha, shuddha, ajaraha, muktaha, sada advayaha. And therefore, there cannot be any ness in me, Brahman-ness, Kshatriya-ness, etc. Human-ness cannot be there. All of that can be there in Upadi. So this is how the Tikakara has explained these things here, that Niyojyatvam. If that Vakya was earlier explained as the Niyoga for Prasankhyanam, so this is what the introduction was there in the very first verse. Tvam kuru tvam tadeveti pratyavaikakalikau ekanidau katham syat. Fourth verse, sorry. Viruddho nyayato vada. Tvam kuru, you do this. Tvam tat, and you are Brahman. How can both of these coexist in the same location at the same time? So therefore, the same page 176, Yadva Shaschayopadeshayino Buddhyadi Vaipatyana Atmayathatvam na janati iti sattasya. Pradaviveka bhavad mokshana padeti tatra kim padartha vivekana krityam shastrat brahmatve pratyavana sati brahmasmi prasankhyanadeva. Then what is it? Then prasankhyanadeva atma yathatma aparokshat moksha. So prasankhana alone can bring about the aparoksham, the aparoksha jnana of atma, then moksha. So this was the Purupaksha raised by the Tikakara. And the trend of Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva subsequently seems to indicate that Tattvamasi Mahavakya is taken to be a niyoga or a vidhi by many. And because the Shabda merely Mahavakya cannot breed Aparoksha Jnanam, to make that Paroksha Jnana Aparoksha require this the Prasankhyanam. So that is dismissed by all this discussion here, that I am only Niyojya, one who is subject to being commanded alone can obey the command of repeating something, but I am not there. Meaning that this Mahavakya creates Aparoksha Jnanam, not Paroksha Jnanam. And therefore the individual no more remains. And therefore there is nobody there to follow this command that you repeat, because who is being told I am not there? As an individual. So this is how the chapter is concluded here with this verses which explain to us the true nature of the self and how to contemplate upon the nature of the self, recognizing the mithyatvam of the notion that I am entertaining about myself. Iti dvadasham prakasha prakaranam. Because the first verse, as we say, of this prakaranam started with prakasha. Prakashastham yathadeham. So therefore it is called prakasha prakaranam. That's all. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om.